Making a feature film is almost next to impossible. The reason behind that, it is so incredibly expensive. First off, you have to get the equipment. The equipment itself, you're getting the camera, you're getting the lights, you're getting different types of lights, omnis, HMIs, these huge lights that are very hard to handle and very, very expensive to rent. Not only that, you're having to rent dollies, you're having to rent other parts of the equipment that can either lift up lights, jib arms, even crane shots where you can put the camera on to get the effect that you so desire. Combined with that, you also have the film. The film, Breeders was shot on 57 cans. In a can is 400 feet of film. Roughly speaking, a roll probably will cost you anywhere between $200 and $300. So add that up times 57 and, well, you do the math. Suffice it to say, it's very expensive. Now, as you talked about the equipment rental and you talk about the film itself, now you're talking about the cast. Breeders was written like a Hollywood film. It was not like Clerks, where you might have two actors and you set them in one room. There were over 40 different locations. What that comes down to is that you have to feed your crew and your cast. Food is also, well, it's very equal to film. It can be very expensive, especially when you have several day shootings of the entire group of people that could well go over 80. Directors do not get sleep. Ever. The hours of a film can be horrendous. Working 13 hours a day is quite normal. Also with Breeders there were many night scenes in the script. And we shot it in the summer of July 2002. So you're dealing with daylight savings times. So technically speaking, we really could not start shooting until it was 10:30 at night. So we had so many night scenes that we started shooting around 10:30 and we shot all the way up until the sun came up. And we literally were going at 100 miles an hour of trying to get all these scenes down for one night with the different shots that are included for each scene. And each time we barely made it. Each time actually, the last couple of shots, the sun had already started to come up. And then when you go back to day shooting, your schedule of sleeping pattern is so used to being at night, you have to kind of take a day break in order to get accustomed to being up in the daytime and being able to shoot. It's very taxing. As far as working with the crew, the director, closest person are probably two people. First off, the producer. And because it's the producer's responsibility of setting things up, getting the money, going out and making the locales there, able to come and shoot. Nobody's going to run us off their land. The paperwork has been done. And then also you're constantly being taken off the set by your producer and you're talking about money. The first and only thing, probably. How much is being spent that day. Lots of times I didn't even want to know how much was being spent. Also, when you're on the set, the number one person that the director is in constant contact with, actually joined at the hip, is the DP, the director of photography, or is also called the cinematographer. Our cinematographer was Richie Sherman. Richie has shot all my films. And when you're on the set, the communication between those two people, the lines must always be open.
You're not hearing the car? Oh, I can hear the car, yeah.
If Richie is away from me just for just a few seconds, I get a little nervous. I still think that I bet you he's better off by himself with this thing stuck between his pants.
You want to
sit in there and
Because I can't
fuck?
see him. I mean, my head's all concocted and shit. Where's Richie?
at the generator.
Fuck.